Okay, so a little channel update video, but before we go into the full update, we've passed 1,390 subscribers, admittedly for the second time. Last week we did break that lovely little milestone, but we dipped back down again. So thankfully I didn't do a video of that milestone because that would have looked pretty stupid. Had I done the video, posted it, and then we dipped back down below the 1,390 sub mark. However, it does mean we are getting that little bit closer every week to the 2,000 subscriber forfeit. Now, I've described this forfeit in great detail many times. When we hit that 2,000 subscriber little milestone, I have to wear a Burnley shirt in a live stream. And of course, for those who've been following the channel for a long time, you will know I'm a Blackburn fan. So I will be insulting myself, basically, a bit of self-deprecation. It's all done tongue-in-cheek. The last forfeit, I shaved all my hair and my beard off, so I went from looking like a Viking to looking like a 1970s punk skinhead, so in the space of about 25 minutes. And my head was very, very cold because it was the coldest day of the year. So we've done forfeits before, and so this will be a bit more tongue-in-cheek kind of forfeit, and so that's hopefully what a milestone we reach very, very quickly. I've also figured out where to find a Burnley shirt now. Charity shops is going to be my first port of call, and then eBay. So we shall see what I can find in claret and blue. So we'll see what we can find. Now, on the channel update side of things, I have been mentioning that the last 5 or 6 weeks it's been a bit of a grind. Thankfully, the last week or two, channel figures and numbers are pretty much back to normal. View counts and view watch hours are back up to normal. The subscriber growth is still a little bit below where I would like it to be, but it's actually still trending upwards, which is nice to see. We're not losing subscribers at any kind of rate. We are still growing. It's just the growth has slowed on the subscriber side of things. And everything seems to be trending upwards. It would be nice to see, more memberships and more super chats and super thanks, but hey, it's that time of year. People are saving up their money for Christmas, or they haven't got a lot of money. So I understand people being a little bit hesitant to want to spend money, which could also, impact the channel. And one major stat that I really did pay attention to in the previous video I did, looking at the channel stats and fun, interesting stats. Now, I didn't write down the percentages, but one thing I've noticed, especially over the last 18 months, but in general as well, is I do tend to have a lot of older viewers who are aged over the age of 35. Normally in, the 40s and 50s age demographics. What has been very, very noticeable in this down spell the channel's had is viewers over the age of 35. That viewership has dropped off significantly over the last few weeks. Now, during the height of the channel's growth over the last 18 months, around half my viewers have been aged 35 and older, because I've got viewers in their 70s. The last 5-6 weeks, it has been very, very noticeable that older viewers are just not watching, and there could be several reasons for this. It is the build-up to Christmas. Now, generally, wealthier people in society who've worked really hard are, ironically, pensioners. People think that because of some of the government policies here in the UK and elsewhere around the world that pensioners are being hard hit. But actually, pensioners are one of the wealthiest demographics in society, or those who are towards pension age because of various ISAs and saving schemes. Mortgages may have been paid off, they own a lot of property, so they have assets and wealth. What tends to happen is older people have more disposable income. They tend to go on holiday or vacation, depending on where you are in the world, and they bugger off for a warm holiday this time of year because it's classed as off-peak, so it's cheaper. So I'm assuming a lot of my older viewers have decided to take a little 2-week break. It would explain a lot. I'm hoping. At the same time, it is the build up to Christmas. A lot of people who are in work are working a lot of overtime, and they're also trying to meet a lot of end of year deadlines. I definitely know that for a fact because my mother is in the 55 to 64 demographic, and it's this time of year where my mother's work. She's in an accounts department at a major multinational tech company. They've got to get a lot of deadlines done before New Year's Eve and before Christmas Eve. So flat out 5-6 day weeks, a lot of overtime required. I also have some other friends who do work in customer service, and they're working a lot. and they are not got a lot of free time. They're doing a lot of deadlines have got to be met, and that could also explain why some of the viewership has dropped off a little bit. The weather, I think, also doesn't help. So some people do struggle this time of year with depression and a thing called SADS, which is sensory audio deprivation, which is something to do with how much sunlight and vitamin D you get, and it is a mental health condition. I have had friends who've been diagnosed with SADS, and there are medications out there. And so some people do find this time of year really, really tough, especially if you're stuck in an office or a warehouse all day, you're not getting much natural sunlight anyway. You do find people do struggle with seasonal depression syndrome, which is, they're all the similar things. And that could also explain why some of the viewership has dropped off. But what is also interesting is the age demographic that I'm going to be no longer a part of in 2 weeks' time, is making up nearly 80% of my viewers, which is ridiculous. I've also noticed, so we're talking 25 to 34, the age demographics below that, viewership has dropped, and the age demographics above that have also dropped. It appears to me that the majority of my viewers have grown up with the channel, so from the ages of 13 to 24, and then they've also joined the 25 to 34 age demographic as they've got older. So I've got a very, very solid following in my age demographic, which is fantastic, but it's very noticeable that the other age demographics, the viewership is just not there the last few weeks. So it's interesting. It's very, very interesting just to look at that. And I thought I'd delve in. That's why I delved into the stats and facts and figures of the channel. So there we go. We've passed another subscriber milestone. And yeah, it's just interesting to see how things are ticking along. However, the last couple of weeks, view counts have bounced back up. View hours have bounced back up. And the channel is back on track, trending in a direction of growth. Basically, we're growing faster than the G7 economies. That's a good way to look at it. Generally, honestly, the last 18 months, the growth on the channel is better than the G7. So that's some way to look at it in a bit of tongue-in-cheek. But there we go. Thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate the support, all you guys and girls, because around 8% of my viewers are female, that you guys continue to give on a daily basis. And also, if you've just stumbled across the channel, please feel free to look at the playlists we have available on the various sports that we do cover. Give a like, a subscribe, and if you are feeling generous and you are feeling brave and you want to help the channel continue to become self-sufficient, hit the membership join button, and I hope to see you in the members section also very, very soon. But from me for now, it is goodbye.